Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Hey, fellow preppers, have you thought about what are the basic tools that you should have in your emergency survival toolkit? There are basic, simple hand tools that everyone should have so that you are able to fix, repair, and maintain the things that you have. So I'm going to go over what I think are the basic survival tools that every prepper should want. There's so many little tasks we need to do that it's important to have just basic tools. And if it's something, say you're a handyman or you do all kinds of heavy duty repair, of course you'll want to buy better tools. But if you don't really have any and you just want to do a few little maintenance things and you just want to put in a screw or hammer in a nail, occasionally you can pick up inexpensive tools. You can even sometimes find them at Dollar Tree. So don't think that every tool must be the best and the most expensive if it's just something you want to have just to take care of a few little tasks around the house. But it's important because it's like impossible sometimes to even accomplish simple things if we don't have a few tools. So the handiest tool that I have is a screwdriver, and I like this one because you can change the bit. So you don't have to have 10 screwdrivers. I have a flathead and a Phillips head, and sometimes you can get them in all different sizes. I have a whole handful of other screwdrivers, but this is the one that I keep at the ready and that I use the most. So a screwdriver or a set of screwdrivers is my most important prepping tool because that's the one I use the most often. The next important tool that I like to have is a tape measure. You can find them in all different lengths, 12 foot, 10 foot, 20 feet. The longer they are, the more expensive they are. And this is something that, yes, you can pick up at the Dollar Tree because an inch is an inch, a foot is a foot. And if you're just going to measure a few things, it's simple to have an inexpensive tape measure. Everybody needs a hammer. You can't hammer in a nail nicely if you don't have a hammer. So make sure that you have one that has a nice balance to it, a heavy duty head, and that it has the claw on the back so that you can take out any nails that you need to and get that job cleaned up nicely. I had a nice level, it disappeared, and I replaced it with one from Dollar Tree. You can see it's still in the package, so it's not that I use it that often, but I have it, and when you want to know if something is level, that's something you need. I also have this square that has a level on it, and I don't use it very often. I don't even know for sure where I got it, probably at a yard sale or a garage sale, because you can sometimes find great deals on very high quality tools at estate sales, garage sales, yard sales. So keep an eye out on that. And if it's something that you don't have that you think could be handy, you can pick it up for very little money. I have another square too, which is nice because you have a straight edge, you have a ruler, and you can keep things square if you need to. An adjustable wrench is nice. You can adjust it so that it opens to the size that you need, and it can help you loosen or tighten different kinds of bolts and nuts and things. One tool that I noticed I didn't have in my collection was vice grips. So if you have vice grips, that's handy to have with your tools, and I'm going to put that on my shopping list that I don't seem to be able to find mine lately. Pick up a few pairs of pliers. You want some that have a needle nose. Sometimes they even have a wire cutter right here at the base. And then just a regular pair of pliers, and these can help you do a lot of tasks around the house. I somehow also ended up with these really cool wire cutters because I needed to put up some wire around to keep animals in or animals out. And so that's something that I have that's been handy to me, but it may not be handy to you. It isn't as versatile of a tool, so depending on what your needs are, that may be something you want or you don't want. If you have any kids and they have those battery-packed toys, you know you need a tiny screwdriver to get the battery compartment door open. So it's nice to have a set of the precision screwdrivers with the little teeny tiny heads. You can even sometimes find them at Dollar Tree. They're not very expensive for a whole set. So you want to make sure that you have those so that you can save the day in an emergency and change those batteries in a kid's toy if you need to. You can also save the day by fixing the little screw in your eyeglasses, which is why they come with an eyeglass repair kit. So that's an option to pick up so that you'll have some of these little tiny screwdrivers. You may want to include a simple saw. You can get a crosscut saw, you can get some of these other types of saws. I even have one that I have from crafting days. that comes with a little miter box so that you can saw things and get them at an angle and get them done correctly. So there's different ways. Figure out what you're going to use. Maybe you don't need a big crosscut saw, but maybe you do. It depends on what tasks you plan to use your tools with. As you find a new task you want to do, add that tool into your collection and keep your tools together so that you have them and you don't go replacing them if you didn't need to. Beside the basic tools, there's a few other items that I like to keep with my tools for doing those home repairs, maintenance, and taking care of tasks. And one of them is go to the Dollar Tree and get some of the magnification Dollar Tree reader glasses, like the 3.25. Then you can look into the little screwdrivers. You can read the little directions if it's telling you how you're going to install something. And so I find that having a cheap pair of magnification readers with my tools has been invaluable lots of times. If you've ever dropped some little screw nut or bolt, you're for sure want to have these to try to find it. Preppers always like to have duct tape, and you might want to also have some black electrical tape. Another prepping essential are zip ties. You can find them in all different lengths, even in different colors, but don't just buy the cheapest zip ties, because the cheapest ones that you get at, say, Dollar Tree, they're handy for holding things together, but they're not sturdy. They're not going to really do a super duper job if you need it. So while it's nice to have some of the inexpensive ones, make sure that you get some high quality ones too, for when things really need to be held together. And say you have your tarp over your wood pile, or you've had to put it over a hole in your roof in a storm, the last thing you want is for your cheapo zip ties to give out when you're trying to hold something together or hold it down. Another essential that I use are bungee cords. You can also find those in many different sizes, very different widths. Depending on how you're going to use them, you're going to want different sizes, different strengths. And once again, these don't last forever, especially if you're using them out of doors, that the rubber and the cloth can rot in the weather. And so don't buy just the least expensive ones. Get some that are heavy duty as well, so that if you really need them, they're going to be useful to you. Something else that's handy are the hex keys. I know I have some loose ones spread around. I also picked up a whole set of them at Dollar Tree because they're so inexpensive and they're very handy when you need to get in there and tighten some things up when a screwdriver just isn't going to work, and then you have a whole collection of them to figure out which size it is you need. Because somehow when I grab all my loose ones, it's never the size that I need. So this way I'll make sure that I have it. You also may want to have an axe, you may want a pry bar, you may also want to make sure that if you have natural gas meter that comes into your home and you live, say, where there's earthquakes, that you have the tool to shut off the gas meter, because that's one of the secondary issues with earthquakes is afterwards the pipes break and there are gas leaks. And if you ever think there's a gas leak, never light a match, nothing, don't light anything. That can cause a devastating explosion. I made a video before on how to turn off your natural gas if you need to in an emergency. I'll put a link to that video in case you want to check it out. It isn't complicated, but it's something that's very important that as preppers that we need to know how to do one of those things. I almost forgot WD-40. This stuff is great. Every prepper should have WD-40. Another tool that I keep in my bug out bag, and not necessarily with my home tool kit, is a Silcock key. Then if you're out away from home in an emergency and you need to be able to get some water, you can turn on the water faucets at the commercial buildings where the head of the faucet has been removed so that other people can't turn it on. With a Silcock key, you can access that water in an emergency. But just make sure if you ever turn water on that you turn it back off. Don't waste it, and don't leave it to cause an emergency for somebody else by it running when it shouldn't be. Leave it in the comments below. What are some other tools that you think would be important for preppers to have in their emergency survival toolkit? These are just the basics that I like. There are many more that you could add to your collection. Sometimes when we read the comments, then it gives us ideas of other things we might want to have, and ideas of, oh, I could fix that myself with just a little bit of knowledge and some kind of a tool. So I hope if you enjoyed my video, you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please like my video and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.